I could point out all the things about how bad this life can seem, but we work hard, we making it, forward motion on everything.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 4WORDS Monday. Whew, it's been a good day. It was my day off, so I was just taking some time to try to relax. Taking that time to think, and just all day long I've been thinking about today's topic or question, however you're going to take it, but it's, do you know what you want? And I've been thinking about that, right? Like, do I know what I want? So I've been asking myself that question all day, like, dear, what is it that you really want? And I don't mean like trying to figure out my life by saying, what is it that you want in life? I'm not asking nobody to figure out their life or think about trying to figure out your life in one day, because I do believe that things change over time. Maybe not everything, but there are some things that change over time. And so when I'm thinking about living to be known, I start thinking, okay, what do I believe? What do I know? What do I practice? Right? What about my relationships, communication, and finances? Like, what is it going to take to get what I want once I've identified what it is that I want? So I'm asking you today, what is it that you want? Do you know what you want? Just like I have to ask myself, do I know what I want? Now, we can generalize that or point in any direction with that, but I don't mean just trivial things. And I don't mean to call everything trivial, but in like the grand scheme of things, I'm talking about actually doing precise things, right? When we're asking what is it that we want, not just, oh, I want to be happy, or I just want to be successful, or I want to change the world. I mean, those things are great. I would never downplay that. But you have to ask the question, how, right? What is it that you want? Like, let's try to pinpoint it. And I'm also not talking about the things that we don't want, right? Like, I don't want pain. I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to lose any friends, stuff like that. I'm not just talking about what we don't want. I'm talking about what is it that you do want. Now, belief, knowledge, practice, relationship, communication, finance. Now, I truly believe that people know what they want. For as much as we, right, can pinpoint, we want to be secure, we want to be financially stable, we want to maintain good relationships, we want people to understand what we say, and we want to understand when people say things to us. We want to know things, we want to do things, right? I think we know what we want. So I really do believe that we, as people, I believe I know what I want. For example, let me think about an example. What is something I want? I want this year to be consistent at doing these videos every Monday for the whole year, as well as every other week putting up some form of audio track that I recorded. That's what I want, right? And then I think of, how am I going to do that? Do I know enough? Do I have enough knowledge to make that happen? Yes, I do. So what is my practice? My practice is every Monday getting before this camera, talking to you guys about things that are going on in the world, in my life, in my mind, and talking with you through the week and stuff like that. That's my practice, based on the relationships I have with you through social media or personally, through the phone, through email, through text, stuff like that. I value my relationships with you and anybody in the world, because I don't think that I could grow, or we could grow, or that civilization for that matter could grow without the relationships that we form and have. Also, me being able to communicate these things to you, right? The things that I'm thinking, the questions that I'm asking, and hear responses back from you. Even if we disagree or we don't come to terms or really get to what each other are saying, this is how we communicate. We only grow from going through those experiences. Not that we're going to start wars over them or start, talking down to each other or pointing fingers, but, if we don't communicate well, we can learn to communicate better. And that's what I'm looking for That's what I'm trying to do. And also, you know, I had to ask that question: what was it going to take financially for me to record music, record it all, put in that time? How much time was it going to take? How much time does it take? What kind of camera am I going to use? Man, I got what I got. I got the same old camera I got in 2010 when I came to Chicago, and I came into a microphone. I have friends that have them, and we record it, and we just go through it. So ask the question: what is it that you want? Sometimes I think we know what we want, but we don't know what that means for what we want, right? In order to get there, get what we want, whether that be better relationships, A's in school, whether that be a raise at your job, or moving on to a better job, whether that be saving up to buy a house or buy a car, fixing your credit, right? We know what we want, but do we really understand what that means for us, right? The sacrifices we might need to make to obtain what we want. It involves work. It involves practice every day. Moving closer to that goal, educating yourself, finding out what you don't know, finding out who knows what, right? Finding out where you can find out what you need to know in order to get what you want. Because if you believe that that's what you really want, if that's what you want, you can get there. Man, there's a train going off, so hopefully that doesn't distract you too much from what I'm saying. That's me living in a small town with a train that goes by. That's tight, right? So also, relationships, communication, finance. It involves other people. You need other people to get what you want. Sometimes, a lot of times. Nobody unless you're going to live in the forest and hunt for your own food, right? And cut down your own firewood. That's the only way you're not going to involve others in obtaining what you want, right? We make phone calls, we go places, we see people, right? We use taxi, we use Uber, we drive, use a gas station. So I don't mean that to say like, oh, you can never get there by yourself, but understand that the relationships that you form with other people can sometimes help you get to what you want, because they can teach you things, and they can help you grow, or they can provide resources for you that you may not have on your own. Communication is a big deal, because there's a saying that says closed mouths don't get fed, right? If you're hungry, you got to open your mouth. You got to signal something that says, hey, I'm hungry, or hey, please feed me. And sometimes we look down on the homeless when they ask for help to be fed. And that's a different conversation for a different time, but so when the time comes and it's last resort, and you're starving and you're on the streets, you're tired of digging in trash cans, you will ask. You don't have to look down on them for it, but to understand the place that they're at, the place that they're standing, or anybody for that matter. If you want somebody to understand where you're at, where you're standing, what you're trying to obtain, what you're trying to get to, if you're communicating what you want, helping people understand what it is you want, then you got to communicate that. But on the other end, if somebody comes to us looking to tell us what they want, asking for help about what they want, we have to understand what they are really trying to communicate. Not just asking them to say it in a way that we'll understand. Sometimes we really have to look to see what it is they're saying, the point that they're making, so that we can understand what it is that they're trying to communicate, if they're not that good at communicating, right? Everybody's not great at communicating. So this is why we need, to take the time to think about how we communicate, but how we receive communication, and how to progress in communicating better with each other. And then when you make your goals and you make your plans, you need good management skills of your finances. Nobody ever got anywhere for nothing or with nothing. People don't run great businesses and make a lot of money because they don't manage it well, or they don't have someone managing it well for them. And that takes time, and that takes understanding, and that takes education, and those are all things that we need to do, and all things that we need to continue to get better at, right? Living to be known, and asking the question, what is it that I want? What is it that you want? And I just want you to think about that and apply that this week. Last week we talked about assumptions, and we had I had some great conversations and some great online, over the phone, email, in person conversations about assumptions. And so keep interacting with me. I love you guys. It's late. I'm hungry. I was trying to finish that video so I could get to this Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? About to get at that. But I love y'all. Living to be known. Go do it every day, right? Because that's the only way. That's the only way things are gonna come to. But hey, what can I say, right? This is why we do this. This is why we go through this, so we can get better, so we can move forwards every day. It's 4 Words Monday. I'm D-Rock, Delray Valet, loving y'all. Hoping y'all love me, and I will see y'all again next week with a track too. So yeah, peace.
And I could point out all the things about how bad this life can seem, but we work hard, we making it. Forward motion on everything.